Hello, I'm Carolyn Semino. I'm going to be doing a presentation today on comparing sleep-wake hours of two nocturnal animals. Using statistical analyses helps us understand how variables relate to one another. Let's look at an example. We want to use a nocturnal animal to study their eating habits. We can compare two nocturnal animals, the armadillo and the hedgehog, to see if there is a statistical difference between the hours they're awake in a 24-hour period. If there's no statistical difference, this could determine that either animal would be suitable to study. If there is a significant difference in the number of awake hours, then we would choose the one that is awake the most hours. First of all, let's look at the armadillo. The armadillos sleep on the average of 16 hours in a 24-hour period, thus being awake approximately 6 hours. During the day, they sleep in burrows they've dug out in safe places and usually only coming out at night, so they would be difficult to find during the day because they're hiding under houses, porches, and other protected areas. During the night, they waddle around, searching for termites, beetles, and ants. But during daylight hours, they're usually nestled in their burrows sleeping. Next, let's look at the hedgehog. These are cute little animals that curl up into a ball for self-protection. Like the armadillo, they're nocturnal animals and sleep during the day for an average of 18 hours in a 24-hour period, thus being awake about 6 hours during the night. You will find these cute little animals rummaging for food during the night hours, but sleeping during the day. If you want to see how these two unique animals compare in sleep patterns, we can use an independent t-test. The independent t-test is used when we need to compare two sample means from two independent samples. First of all, we pose a research question. Do the mean number of sleep and awake hours differ significantly statistically between an armadillo and a hedgehog? Then we form a null hypothesis. The sleep and awake hours between an armadillo and a hedgehog are not significantly different. Next, we form an alternative hypothesis. The sleep and awake hours of an armadillo and a hedgehog do have significant statistical difference. So, we have formed our research question, we've built a null hypothesis and an alternative hypothesis. We would then use SPS version 29 to run a statistical analysis using an independent t-test. After running this statistical analysis, we see that there is no significant difference between the hours that an armadillo sleeps and a hedgehog sleeps. We fail to reject the null hypothesis, which is the sleep and awake hours between an armadillo and a hedgehog. These are not significantly different. Therefore, we can then determine that while we're more likely to catch an armadillo awake, we still have a good chance to see either one of them during their awake time in a 24-hour period. Thank you for going through this hypothetical research project that demonstrates how we can use statistical analyses to solve problems. Happy armadillo and hedgehog viewing. The next slide has my references.